Okay, as you can see, this now is what we call the front end. This is the front end. Now, this software basically is designed for a firm that sells, they are into sales of computer accessories. They are into sales of computer accessories. Now, since they are into sales of computer accessories, you will have a place for the sales girl who would come and log into the computer and start making her sales. You have a place for the manager. The manager at the end of the day will come and inspect and see if the account is balanced or not. Then you have the database where every information is being stored in. So the manager, the salesperson, they are all logging into the same they are logging in through the same access point. For example, now what I mean by the same access point is, yes, you can log into the back end through the front end. Yes, you can log in into the back end through the front end. Just like I said, there is an API that connects the back end to the front end. But all you need to understand is that the front end is where the user comes and puts in all of his information, comes to put in all of the information, while the back end is that where the person that is like the administrator sees everything. Now, for example, this sales girl will come in, and then we have sales 2. Let's enter. Now, as you can see, this is sales 2. This is her dashboard. She can come into this place and sell, give report, have expenses, have refund, and then record those that bought goods on credit. Now, let me log out. Look at this sales 2. Let me log in as a manager. Now look at admin 2, and I'm logging in as an admin. Now I can decide to come to user here now and come to sales 2, and for now I can decide to click on edit, and then let me deactivate her. Let me deactivate sales 2. Now I have deactivated her. She's inactive. Let me go back. Let me log out. Let me try logging in as sales 2, and let's see. You see, invalid password or account deactivated. So the manager is the admin of the sales. The manager is the admin of the site, is the admin of the site. So it means the manager sees everything, and the manager can remove, add, do whatever he can do. So the manager is now the admin of this site. But however, there is another admin now that is beyond the manager. So what I will now do is this. Let me log in back as admin 2. Enter this. Go to user. Edit. Let me activate her. Update. Go back, and then let me log out. Let me log out. So now when you log in sales 2, you can see she can now log in. So let's say she comes into this place, click on new sales. For example, she clicks on new sales, enter the customer name. Let me put Can Wiseman Peter. Okay, Wiseman Peter, and then let me say transfer. And what do I want to buy? Memory card. Let me see, is there memory card? Okay, no memory card. Let me see, charger. Is there a charger? Okay, laptop charger. Let me select laptop charger 1, 16,000. Let me buy 16,500. So let me add to order. Yes, I've already added to order. Complete sales. Now, as you can see, these are the people that have bought things today. This is the date, this is the time, this is everything. So she can click on reports. You can see Wiseman Peter bought 1 charger. This is the salesperson that turned everything. Then this is the name, this is the quantity that was bought. Okay, so let's go back, let's go out. Now this here is the user. Let me click here also. You can see today's sales. When you click on view, you see Wiseman Peter, the date. Look at the total things that I have bought, the total price. No expenses today. The revenue generated today is 57,000, and the top customer for today is Wiseman. Let me see, what did Wiseman buy? Okay, I think the top customer for today was supposed to be this one that spent 36,000. Okay, there's no problem. So as you can see, but just like I said, this is still the front end. Now let me take you to the back end. Let me click on localhost /phpMyAdmin. As you can see, now look at the database. Click in the database. As you can see, now let me click on sales. Now look at where's Wiseman Peter. Look at the total amount of things I've been able to buy. Look at what I've been able to buy. So the point here is, it is impossible for customers to start, or even the sales girl to come and start operating this. It will not be really convenient for her to come and be adding record and all of this, because if you want to add record into this, it will be a very complex thing to do. So this here is what we call the back end. Now the person that made it very possible for the manager, the person that made it very possible for this manager to have access to all of these things, that person is called the back end programmer. You understand? That is where you have programming language like PHP, you have MySQL, you have database systems. So that is how the front end, back end works. Don't forget, for front end, that is what interacts with the client or the user, and one of the most common programming language is HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, while the back end is mostly is mostly where the informations are being stored. Most of the back end is, you see scripts like PHP script, MySQL, and you have something like your I think MongoDB and the rest of them. So this is a practical demonstration of the practical demonstration of the practical demonstration of is a practical demonstration of so it's a practical demonstration of how the web application works. I think I made a spelling error here. So it's a practical demonstration of how the web application works. So the next thing is we are now going to from current slide. Okay, so we will also be for our next class, we'll be going into what we call vibe coding. But before you vibe code, there are some basic tools that you need. You will need what we call a XAMPP server. In case I will show you how to use XAMPP server, but you need VS Code, you need a browser, you need ChatGPT. For those of you that don't know you must know ChatGPT. Then you need Gemini. Then the machine we are going to be using for our code generation is called Emergent SH. Then here I'll be talking about deployment. So after you finish doing everything, like this software I just showed you now is locally deployed. What does it mean to have something locally deployed? What it means to have something locally deployed means that it is not running live online, that is on the internet. You know, we have what we call the internet and you have what we call the intranet. Now the internet is the connection of computers or servers all over the world. All over the world. But the intranet has to do with just your network alone. Just your network alone. So example of an intranet is, okay, for example, this app that I created now is for a particular company that sells they deals in the sales of computer accessories. So the computer is there. When you come to buy something, they greet you, you are welcome, and then you buy, they enter it into the system, and then you go. Now that is an intranet because it is only connected to them alone. So it means from the comfort of your house, you cannot type www.theirplace and then you buy from the comfort of your house. It is not possible. But when it becomes an internet application now is when at the comfort of your house you type www.accessories.com and then you can make your purchase. That makes it an internet. So after your design, you will need to deploy if you are designing for a company so that people could see your app. So you need to design to deploy. Now deployment basics for you to deploy means like for you to export your work. Now you need to know three things. The first thing you need to know is what we call hosting. The second thing you need to know is domain, and the third thing you need to understand is what we call the cloud. Now I will first of all give you this example. Okay, now I will take you back to the example of the shop that used to sell bread. Okay, now in the shop that they used to sell bread, definitely that shop has a name. What is the name of the shop that they used to sell bread? Let's say the name of the shop is, let's say, Wonderful Bread. And Wonderful Bread is located in shop ABCD, United States of America. Now, the name Wonderful Bread is what we call the domain name, because a domain name points you to the location of the web. Are you getting me? It points you to the location of the web. Now, one thing you don't understand is that most of these things we are designing are stored as folders. Are you getting me? They are stored as folders. They are stored as folders. So what points you to the folder is what we call a domain name. And we have different types of domain name. We have domain name for governmental organization. That is where you see something like .gov. Then you have a domain name for commercial organization, which is, you see something like .com. .com is showing you that this website is a commercial organization. Then you have .org. It's showing you that this website is a non-profit organization. Then you have something like .africa. Is showing you that, okay, this website is an African website. Then you could have something like .org.ng, showing you that this website is a website that is hosted in Nigeria. They are existing in Nigeria. So just like I said, a domain name points you to the location of the file inside the host, to the location of the file inside the host. So let me take it back again. Now, Wonderful Bread is the name of the shop. Now, when you come to the complex, you will see a lot of shops there. But what made you not to go to the wrong shop is because you've seen a shop that is called Wonderful Bread. Let's say you see Adam Bread, you see Mama Chinanza Bread. You will not go to Adam Bread, you will not go to Mama Chinanza Bread, because where you want to go and get your butter bread is in Wonderful Bread. So you go to Wonderful Bread straight, because there is signboard that is carrying the name Wonderful Bread. So that Wonderful Bread is known as your domain. And then the shop, the physical building that contains all of the different bread that is inside, that contains all of the stuff that is inside, is known as your hosting. So hosting is what gives store, it is what stores your file, is what stores your database, is what stores everything that concerns your website. Then cloud, for those of you that use iPhone, the word cloud is not new to you. For those of you that are using Android, okay, for Android, yes, the word cloud too should not be new to you, but in our own, we don't call it cloud. Okay, so let's say you have a phone and the phone was stolen, God forbid, the phone was stolen, and then you buy a new phone. If you are using a iPhone, if you are using an iPhone, sorry, you notice that when you enter your cloud username and password, everything comes back. Then if you are using an Android, you notice that the moment you enter your Gmail username and password, you notice you notice that all your phone addresses comes back. Then if you are using WhatsApp and maybe your WhatsApp had problem, you installed a new WhatsApp. If you have been backing up your chat, you will see where it will say restore chat. Once you click yes, it will restore all your chats to you. All of those things are stored in what we call cloud. Now, cloud is not your normal cloud that you are seeing on the air like this. It is a series of servers that are built purposely to store information. A series of servers that are built purposely to store information. So let me give you an example so that you understand very well. So I will come back to this. Now when you look at this, let me log out. Now when you look closely to this place, you see we have what we call local host. Now local host is, you see, local host. The word local host means is a server. I have not deployed it yet. I have not make it go live yet. So it means it is on the intranet. That is why you are seeing the word local host. Where it goes live is when you see the word www, that is World Wide Web. Then it will now be www.mikeadioenterprise.com. But now that is on a local host. That is why you see it is carrying a name, Mike_adio/login.php. What this address simply means is that I want you to go and look into the local host, search for a folder called Mike Adio Enterprise, and inside Mike Adio Enterprise folder, search for the login.php. And that is the same thing that happens when you type www.let's say google.com. You are saying, out of the whole file that is existing in the world, I want you to go and look at the whole file that is existing in the world. That is your www. But what we are saying here, when you see localhost, I want you to look at the local files that are on my server in my system. But when you do www, I want you to look at the whole file that is in the world. Then you say dot. Here, that dot is represented by slash. Then you can say dot mikeadio.com. Here you have slash mikeadio. You say, okay, look for www.mikeadio.com for me. So look for the folder that is called mikeadio.com. Now let me show you this practically so that you understand. Now this is localhost. Now this is where all of the files that are in my server are being stored. Look at it. As you can see, look at the Mike Adio Enterprise dot. You understand? Look at it here. Look at hospital billing. Look at inventory system. If I should come here and say, okay, let me say Mike-repairs, and let's see. Look at. I will now type localhost slash. Let me come to this place. What we're looking for is Mike-repairs. Mike-repairs. You see? So let me press enter. You can see it has brought out Mike-repairs to me, and this is Mike Adio. This is Mike-repairs, meaning I want to look at that Mike-repairs folder. This is the Mike-repairs folder in this place. So that is how the web app work, and that is what we mean by when we say deployment. So you can deploy something locally to run in an intranet. That means, for example, you can go to any company and propose a web application to them and tell them, look, you don't have to have a website. You can run it locally in this your company and everything will move fine. Yes. So before you do this, you need to have what we call a knowledge of prompt engineering. Now, what is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering simply means the act of telling the AI what to do. Now, before you could begin your program, because we are working with AI, you need to understand how to talk to AI. You need to understand how to command AI. Now, when you are talking to AI, you need basically to understand some fundamentals. What are the fundamentals you need to understand? Number one, learn to give it a clear instruction. Learn to give it a clear instruction. Number two, ensure you add examples to your instruction to make it further look good. Add examples to your instruction. Then number three, add steps to your instruction. Add steps to your instructions. So let me make a very clean example. For example, we are about to write a software that helps teachers to create a lesson plan. You cannot just go on AI and say, write a software that helps teachers create a lesson plan. The first question is this: what kind of lesson plan are you creating? That is one. Number two, what level of education, what level of education are you creating the lesson plan for? Is it primary school, nursery, secondary school, tertiary institution? So that is why your informations must be very clear. So you can tell the computer now, you can say, I need you to create a lesson plan for a secondary school teacher. I need you to create a lesson plan for a secondary school teacher that lives in Nigeria and teaches integrated science. Simple. Now, when you look at that instruction, number one, it is very clear. Number two, it has a lot of steps inside of it. Then the next thing is, to make this very clear, I want to show you a method I've been using, and that method is called the PRO formula. The first thing you need to do is you need to think like a product manager. Who is a product manager? A product manager is somebody that coordinates the creativity of a software. So, number one, the first thing you need to look at is, what is the real problem? Okay, what is the real problem? Okay, in a school, the teachers find it very hard to sit down and write lesson notes. Writing lesson notes is too heavy, it's too big. I find it very difficult to write lesson notes. So the real problem is the fact that the teachers are finding it difficult to write lesson notes. Now, how do you attain, or how do you solve this problem? That is what takes you to the objective. Okay, so the first thing is that we need to create a roadmap. What is our roadmap? What problem are we solving? We are trying to create a software that creates a lesson plan for teachers. Okay, that is one. Number two, after we are creating a software that creates a lesson plan for teachers, what is the next thing? We are creating a lesson plan that creates a lesson plan for teachers. Now, this that creates a lesson plan for teachers, what type of teachers? Okay, integrated science teachers. Okay, what level? Integrated science teachers that are teaching in Nigeria, secondary school to be specific. So the real problem is that we are creating that, and the objective is to ease their work. So from there, you can clearly give the computer an instruction, and the computer understands what you want it to do. So for our next class, we will be doing a clear practical class on staff shift allocator. So here I will practically show you how to think, how you can think, and then you do a critical thinking to solve a problem. Because this is it, you don't just bounce on computer and tell the computer to start creating the software for you. It will just create nonsense for you. So you have to sit down with your pen and draft out everything. When you now draft out everything, that is when you can now begin to create your software. So the software we'll be creating at the end of this lesson is what I call a staff shift allocator. A staff shift allocator. It is a software of an hospital that enables you rotate the staff of the hospital to know the one that is in morning duty, the one that is in afternoon duty. And in this system now, there is no favoritism. You cannot bribe the system. So it enables you do a rotation shift for the staff very, very well without a problem. So that will be in our next class. So for this class, we have an assignment. The assignment is this: you must look at your environment, pick a problem in your environment, and then think of how to write a software, or think of the procedure you can follow to solve that problem, then you can come over to the forum. You can drop your answer in a voice note, or you can drop it in form of a written text. So I believe we've come to the end of this first video. Until I see your second video, until I see your assignment, and then I will see your assignment, and we'll deliberate. See you in the next class. Thank you very much.